Robert Heffernan, Endotech, exclusively for the Pareto Network and Endotech subscribers. I am a master endotechnician, now in the matrix trading cryptocurrencies. This is Blockchain Vitals. It's our daily show where we talk price action amongst really the top, just the top market cap cryptos. That's what this show is about. But the insights can apply over many asset classes and many other cryptos. So welcome and thank you for joining me. I do this every night. I spent 25 plus, nearly 30 years in Chicago at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange in the heat of the battle in the raucous commodity markets in Chicago. And I'm bringing that expertise, especially around technical trading action, to the show, Blockchain Vitals. You know, we do a segment every day. We call it Doing the Rounds, so let's do it right now. Doing the Rounds. It is our view, my view, what I see going on in the crypto sphere, what's important, the news, the headlines, things catching my eye. And a couple of things caught my eye today that I want to discuss. First one, kind of segueing on yesterday's discussion of where possible many new Bitcoin, especially buyers, will come from. And I mentioned yesterday, because it was in the news, how Venezuela had just devalued their currency by 95%. Now, the Turkish lira is a free-floating currency, but it's lost nearly 45% of its value against the U.S. dollar, leaving people in Turkey pretty disgruntled, I would have to imagine, over the monetary policy going on in the country. Now, a lot of that, they say, pointed to the tariffs and the trade war with the U.S. of A., but Turkey's largest exchange has seen a 63% in Bitcoin trading volume. And it's not just trading, it's getting out of the lira and going to a store of value. And I wanted to point out one other thing, though, that I thought was incredibly insightful in this article. And I got the article from bravenewcoin.com. And it was one of my favorite people in the crypto sphere, his views on it. Of course, I'm losing his name right now. The Greek, in basketball, it's the Greek freak. Andreas Antonopoulos. He said, and I quote from this article, him saying, "Until now, exit from a country meant physically removing yourself. Refugees, flight, and that creates its own dangers. Exploitation, human despair, catastrophe, tragedy. But one of the interesting things that happens with cryptocurrency is your ability to stay put, stay in place, and economically exit without leaving the country. Continue to trade with your neighbors, engage in commerce with other people, exit only from the currency, and stay where you are." And, let's just talk about the places: Turkey, Iran, Venezuela, African countries that this article mentions, like Sudan, Kenya, and South Africa. And you start to understand that it is a massive amount of people that can use cryptocurrency, Bitcoin maybe, but cryptocurrency in particular, blockchain in particular, to change the paradigm that they live in, that they don't have to be beholden to a sovereign government's currency to guard their wealth. And this is where the real paradigm shift comes. And I do believe that this is something that can be transformational throughout the world, because if there's one thing that's been consistent throughout the world, is that governments and people in power, especially when it comes to monetary policy, are not always are not always the best stewards and have the best practices. And so there is room for this revolution and evolution to grow. All right, so I wanted to talk about that. The second thing I wanted to talk about was a great article about the parabolic super trend in Bitcoin. And this is an assessment, and the chart's actually from, and the original work is published March 1st, 2018, looking for another serious leg up. Well, now we've had April, May, June, July, and half of August. But the thing that I like about the article is, and I'm not sure if this is just standard parabolic modeling that he is showing, but the article is in Medium, the parabolic supertrend of Bitcoin, and it does a good job of explaining what the downdrafts are about and how the ecosystem evolves. More players come in, technology changes and accelerates, and that allows for the next uptrend in the asset. So it does some, it gives some fundamental background of why this next explosive parabolic move will happen in Bitcoin, although they're not giving trading advice. And again, I like the story because it gives me a good background to say when my technicals tell me to jump in, and then to jump in with all feet, arms, legs, I know from a fundamental standpoint, and I believe in the fundamental story. I need the technicals to tell me, though, because once the technicals line up and the fundamentals line up and the massive amount of buying that can take place via all the new accounts that have opened in every wallet company across the country, not just Coinbase, but there's tens of thousands and tens of thousands of accounts of wallets that are going to be able to participate when the bull story evolves. Not quite there yet, but and for many reasons, for many people across the globe, truly a global market and global participation available in these assets. I was talking to a friend trading trader the other day just about that fact. If you were in the commodity markets in Chicago and you wanted to go into the customer service side of it, or you wanted to be an introducing broker, I mean, just the number of people that were actually going to trade commodities, U.S.-based commodities, it's fractional compared to the world number of people that will participate in these markets. So again, I believe in the fundamentals, but I have to let the technicals guide me. All right, that's all there is to it. I will not buy a great fundamental story that is in lower momentum on the daily and the weekly. I just won't do it. Therefore, we need to take the vitals. But in order to take the vitals, I need to say goodbye to the YouTube crowd. Because if you are watching this on YouTube and you want to watch my actual actionable trading levels that we want to talk about, and that blockchain vitals sheet, which gives you those levels every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, because cryptos never sleep. You need to be an Endotech subscriber or a Pareto token holder. And then you get to watch me live, not in Memorex, every day except Saturdays. I get a day off. And I will talk the numbers. All right. We have a studio audience here today, and they are fidgeting and wanting me to get to